The Monster Hunter Wilds team over at Capcom has been blessing us with daily weapon overview videos, releasing neatly packaged around 1 minute long weapon overviews, providing a really nice flavor of the weapon, what skills and abilities it'll have, and how it's going to play in Wilds. They also released a pretty comprehensive basics overview, fantastic for new players to ease them into the Monster Hunter franchise and world, and a deep dive into focus mode, fully explaining how the stance works, that it gives you access to additional attacks and is specifically for targeting wounds and weak points. I'm Lighted Up Dan, and the sort of content I love to produce aims to reduce the overwhelm and unknown of the Monster Hunter games. I've been providing analysis and overviews of these releases. After the Hammer one over here, you might also be interested in checking out some of the others. Very quickly, a massive thank you to all of you who have really turned up and gotten us to around 80% of unsubscribed viewers on the channel, with the majority of you returning. If you enjoy the videos, do subscribe. I'm aiming to get that down to 50%, and with that said, let's get to it. Okay, Brotherhood of Bonk, my KO Kens, the Dong Dynasty. First things first, we've got to talk about the aesthetics of the gear on display here. I mean, goddamn, it's this weird Plague Doctor, Lovecraftian vibe. It really reminds me of Bloodborne in a sense. The armor is oozing this toxic plague vibe to it. The mask, the tubes, the files, the hammer itself appearing to be this Frankenstein brain that's housed inside this weird unit. The body of it mimicking a rib cage, and the head of the weapon having that signature long nose Plague Doctor thing. Very strong themes of cosmic and eldritch horror here. What's the monster that this gear comes from? I'm excited to find out. We see the differences between the male and female armor over here as well. The male set actually having that Plague Doctor beak and a full face covering with a mask. Surgical instruments on the gear as well, whereas the female set has the tubes, it's got the files. Some pretty cool differences there. Straight into the bread and butter overhead smash combo with a first and second input, followed up by the upswing finisher. What is super cool here, blink and you'll miss it, is the hunter actually sidestepping between overhead smash 1 and 2. Did you catch that? Did you see it? Particularly when the video is highlighting the destructive power and good mobility of the weapon. This does not seem coincidental. I don't think the Chatacabra is dragging the hunter across. That looks like a sidestep. That's going to have massive implications for the mobility of the weapon. Also, if you pay attention to when the hits are connecting, you'll notice a specific dust cloud which we've not seen so far on the other weapons. It kind of looks like a poison status effect, and it kind of would make sense if you take a look at that gear. The hunter begins charging up their hammer and then utilizes their hook slinger to quickly dodge forwards while still maintaining the current level of charge that they have. This is a rework of the Sway Silkbind skill from Monster Hunter Rise, and once more has enormous ramifications for the actual mobility of the weapon, allowing us to more effectively gap close and dodge whilst charging. The hunter scurries along with their hook slinger to unleash the Big Bang finisher on the Chatacabra. We see the same thing happening here, hunter charging up the hammer, wandering around the place, and then unleashing the Big Bang finisher on the Chatacabra once more, this time KOing it. The crunchy ass destructive Big Bang combo is back, and not just that, it might actually have hyper armor for the duration as well. We see what appears to be the combo persisting through the Chatacabra's tongue swipe, not flinching, not getting buffeted out of the combo, so maybe there are some elements of hyper armor to the Big Bang combo now, which once more has massive ramifications. In the focus mode stance here to target the monster's wounds and weak points, as we know, we see the hunter perform this massive wind-up spinning attack. 3 spins and then a finishing slam. I believe this may be a rework of an older ability that was called Spinning Meteor in some of the older games. Either way, it looks absolutely dope, and we see it popping the wounds as a focus strike does. What appears to be a regular upswing attack to the untrained eye. What this actually is a parry counter attack here. The Chatacabra has its attack repelled and rejected, causing special sparks to fly out and a special sound. We've seen this with some of the other parries in the other weapon overviews so far as well. Maybe it's somewhat building upon the water strike parry counter that you've got in Monster Hunter Rise, or some such variation. A big gap close with a hook slinger whilst charging, and then one more really big wind-up spinning crazy attack. This one instead might be a variation of the Spinning Meteor attack. Maybe they both are. It kind of looks similar to the focus strike, but it is slightly different as well. Either way, it looks sick. What are your thoughts on the Wilds hammer? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. As mentioned at the start, a massive thank you to all of you who've really turned up and gotten us to around 80% of unsubscribed viewers on the channel, with the majority of you returning. If you enjoy the videos, do subscribe. I've been doing these long form weapon overview analyses, but also in shorts as well, so do keep an eye out for those if you are are interested. And now here's the full trailer with the sound on. Enjoy.